To me? An email?
Yeah, I haven't been over there in 3 weeks. I was telling Ron about
No, she has a thing she's got.
Good morning, Devin. Good morning. How are you? Oh, yeah. Great. No left. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
She actually looks a little bit like that, Michael.
Don't the email Scott asked you.
Hey, Bernard. What do you need for us to see live or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, do you need a heads up from us?
No, it's on there.
It's on them? Okay.
Just whenever you, if you use the microphone though, just remember that using the microphone is better. Using the microphone is better when you speak.
Yeah.
You doing okay, man?
You ready, Ron?
I am, sir.
Yeah. Maybe we're not ready.
Okay.
Can you hear me? All right. So I think the button with the figure on it is what you got to push to speak. And then Bernard said if more than 2 or 3 mics are on at the same time, then you get feedback. So, morning. Thank you guys for meeting us here today. I know that there's I don't know how much you guys are going through, but I know we have some connectivity issues. We have found out that this is a dead zone for Sprint and kind of sort of Verizon, but if you have AT&T, you're in a good spot because we got boosters here too. So we're looking to get the hotspots for AT&T because I know that even for the AE Wi-Fi for guests, it's hard to get on. And we're having the IT folks try to work on that, but yeah, I'm using someone else's phone's hotspot right now to get on the internet, so it's a problem everyone's going to face for a little bit at least until we sort it out. But all right, I'm Devin Desai. I'm the Labor Relations Officer. For those of y'all that haven't met, either through IBB or in person prior. I know everybody on the front row, and some of y'all in the back row. We'll go through and we'll introduce our side, Ron, if that's good with you, and then you can do the same. So I've been the Labor Relations Officer for the city since 2011, with the exception of 2017. I was the interim police monitor for that year, and then I came back and I negotiated the 2018 contract. And I've been back since then. Half of 16 I was in Human Resources as an interim assistant director, and then pretty much all of calendar year 2017 I was the interim police monitor. And so I'm glad to be back. We're in the process of finishing up EMS negotiations, starting with y'all today, and then fire at the end. So typically, y'all don't see it on your side, but for us, we have Monday, negotiations hierarchy with EMS: Tuesday police, Wednesday fire, Thursday police, Friday EMS. And it gets hectic, obviously, on our side. But this is the first time where we've been able to kind of focus on one group, and a second group, and then theoretically a third group. We're not done with EMS, but we're at the tail end. So you basically have pretty much our undivided attention for at least a few months before we start fire negotiations, which we anticipate to be in April. But anyways, that's it for me. I'll let Lowell introduce himself, and then Chief Henderson, and we'll go through the back.
I'm Lowell Denton from. Thanks. I'm Lowell Denton. I'm from San Antonio. I'm a lawyer. I've been doing this for a very long time, going back to starting in 1993 with Larry Watts, negotiating the San Antonio police contract to try to fix the big debacle from 1988. Am I doing something wrong? Take this off? Okay. So I went from there to beginning to bargain in various places around the state, and have done most of the major cities and a lot of the smaller cities, as do my partner Rick Navarro from the Rio Grande Valley, my partner Rebecca Sanchez Hayward, who's here, who's done a lot of work in the Valley and elsewhere. Some of you may be acquainted with her. So I've been doing Austin for a pretty long time, and I'm tickled to be back here. I have a lot of good experiences and successes at this bargaining table with people in your membership group. I have a lot of respect for each of you and what you do. Glad to see all the new people that are coming in here to try to solve the problems of today. And it always seems like today's problems are worse than they've ever been before in our whole life, but we're just going to deal with it. So welcome.
Good morning. Robin Henderson, I'm Chief of Staff for the Austin Police Department. Apologies. I've been with the department for 25 years, and I'm just looking forward to having a cohesive, congruent process. Thank you.
So Devin, we don't have mics, you might introduce us, otherwise we're gonna be passing mics all day long.
That's fine. All right, so back on this corner is Becky.
You can hear.
Becky's. Is that?
You can hear.
Oh, you can hear him? Okay, go ahead, Becky.
Okay.
You can talk loud.
Yeah, I can speak loud. I do speak loud. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rebecca Hayward, and everybody calls me Becky. I think that I met a lot of y'all in the IPD training. Melanie, I know you're also from the Valley. So I live in Harlingen, Texas, and as Lowell said, I'm outside counsel, so I work with Lowell's firm, Denton Navarro, Roach and Bernal. Been there for 10 years, been bargaining down in the Valley. Surprisingly, all those little cities down there are 143 civil service and collective bargaining, not just meet and confer. So, been doing that now for a very long time. This is my first time working with the city of Austin and with APA, so I'm looking forward to working with them. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Sarah Griffin. I know many of you from the last bargaining cycle. At that time I was with Denton Navarro, and I am now with the Labor Relations Office with the City of Austin as Devin's deputy. And so I've been doing this a long time as well, throughout the state of Illinois, and did the full last bargaining cycle for EMS, fire, and both police contracts, 17 and 18. And done a couple of other things around the state of Texas, and looking forward to working with y'all. Nice to see you again, Melanie, Thomas, Ron, DeLord, and getting to know the rest of you.
Good morning, I'm Lieutenant Lee Davis. I'm currently assigned to the executive staff. Been with the Austin Police Department about 18 years. I look like I know most of you, 90% of you out there. I'm just delighted to be a part of the process. I'm looking forward to finding areas where there's mutuality and if we can all come to a beneficial agreement for the city, our citizens, and of course our good men and women in the Austin Police Department. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Sylvia Flores. I know a lot of you are retired after 30 years with the city. I've worked on a lot of the police fire and EMS contracts. I thought I'd come back to assist in any way possible to make sure we have a good contract for the officers and the citizens of Austin. And I'm retired.
Devin, do you want to recognize Monica?
In the back, way back, she's attending another meeting, or she was online at least, is Monica Arvello. She was in our law department, and then she took over as one of the assistant directors in human resources. She is sitting in for Joya, who is out of state right now, but normally you'll see Joya Hayes here, who's our HR director and more relevant to y'all, director of civil service. And she will be the corporate HR representative while we negotiate. But today, we're lucky to have Monica here in her stead.
I'm Ron Delord. I'm the oldest person in the room. I hate to say that. You know, it seems like yesterday I was the youngest person in the room, but I'm a former police officer in 2 cities. I was president of CLEAT 30 years, and then I stayed there another 6 years as director and special counsel. I retired in 2013, but I still work on collective bargaining contracts. So I've been involved here, I think, with 17, 18. And with Lowell's firm in Barrett County, we just settled, and I'm currently almost settled on San Antonio, so I'll have those out of the way. So I have a long background in bargaining on the labor side, and I know all the players here. So we have a big team, and I guess we do any public comments, I'll save it for then, but you know, we always start off on the position that it's in everyone's best interest to come to a mutual agreement. We think it works. I think the processes work. I've devoted almost half a century to this process of getting it to work. And we look forward to it. Each one is a challenge, and everybody looks and sees the whole forest at first and they go, well, that's just insurmountable. But it's not. And, you know, so we went to San Antonio with all kinds of things whirling around us, and we just worked right on through, and the storms come and go, and eventually you figure out, you know, how to get a deal that's good for the city and the department, the officers, and the public. So I'm glad to be here, and I'll turn it over to our team to introduce themselves.
My name's Thomas Villarreal. I'm the vice president of the APA. Work full-time at the APA, representing officers. Was a co-chair of the 18 team, was on the 17 team, and was I sat in the room on the 13 team. Don't know that I gave anything to that team, but I learned a lot. Been a cop for almost 16 years. Been on the board of directors since I was a 2-year rookie. Happy to be on the team. Happy that we have, as Lowell pointed out, a bunch of new faces, and I think that it's incredibly important for the future of the police department, the APA, that we allow the good men and women behind us that are going to be here whenever we move on to greener pastures, the ability to sit through these like I sat through 13 and learn, because it's hard to get up here on the front table if you don't have those opportunities to learn and do. So yeah, excited. I'll echo what Ron said. I say it often. You know, being under contract is good for everybody, and you guys know from our past actions that we are open to talk about everything. So happy that we got started, and happy to spend the next months together hammering this thing out.
My name is Melanie Rodriguez, and I have been with the police department for 25 years now. About 23 years ago, my husband volunteered me to the APA in his stead, and I have not yet been able to get away. I'm really excited. I think we put together a great team with some really innovative ideas, excuse me, that we're going to be able to share with y'all and hopefully come together to create a document that is going to work for all of us and make this department hopefully a better functioning organization. Being here 25 years, I know Chief Henderson and I both have the opportunity to have retired 2 years ago. I often question, I have those days where I wonder why I'm still here, but then all I have to do is go to work and just watch the men and women of this department and their heart and soul and the good things that they do. It's really a privilege to be in the position that I'm in as a patrol supervisor and see those folks doing the good work that they do day in and day out. So hopefully we can represent everyone and come to a mutual agreement. And I'm really excited about getting this started.
I'm Joe Swine. I'm a detective, treasurer of the Austin Police Association. I've been with the department 20 years, worked on with the city. I know most of you all. I'm looking for, I have no doubt that we will come to an agreement that benefits our citizens and our officers and that everybody's going to be happy with. So we're not scared to talk about anything, and I think we're going to work really well together.
Morning. Name's Wood Tantaxananuki, common spelling. I've been with the department now quickly approaching 26 years. I was part of Team 2, Team 3, and was a lead negotiator for contract number 4. I was honored to be asked to come back here with you all fine people, so I'm looking forward to negotiations. Thank you.
Stand up. Morning, my name is Brad Ray. I'm a sergeant with our Violent Crime Investigations Division. This is my first time on the bargaining team, and I'm excited to be here.
I'm Vance Devis. I'm a detective with the Aggravated Assault Unit. Also my first time, and look forward to working with y'all.
Anthony Allegretti, Coast Department for 7 years, worked downtown. This is also my first contract, and I look forward to learning and working with y'all.
Jeffrey Rodriguez, in the department 14 years. Currently I represent the officers downtown as a representative for the APA, and look forward to being
Shane Streeby, I'm a lieutenant with the police department. I've been with the department for about 19 years, going on 20. This is my second cycle. I was part of the second half of the 2018 process. So I would say, similar to what Thomas said, I learned a lot, didn't really contribute a lot, but now I feel like it's time to contribute a little bit more. I'm happy to be part of the solution. I feel like there's a lot of folks that will sit on the sidelines and throw rocks, but being part of the solution is what's important. So I'm happy to be here and honored to be part of this process.
My name is Christina Oldhambone. I've been with the department for the same time he has, almost 20 years. First time on the bargaining team, and I think our reasoning is because I'm kind of on my way out the door, and I want to make this place better than when I found it 20 years ago.
Good morning, Angie Jones. I'm currently a sergeant with the Sex Crimes Cold Case Unit. Before that, I just transferred out of internal affairs, so I'm still new to the cold case stuff. Been with the department for 19, almost 20 years. This would be my first opportunity to be part of bargaining, so I'm excited to be here.
Good morning, buenos dias. My name is Bino Cadenas. I'm a corporal on patrol. I've been here approximately 10 years, and I was part of the 17, 18, and blessed to be here on this one. So thank you.
Hey everyone, Travis Von Hall. I'm an officer. Been here for about 4 years. I represent the North South.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maris Hayward. I'm a corporal at the Water Skills Unit. Been here for 10 years, and it's my first bargaining, so looking forward to seeing how the process goes.
Good morning. I'm Chastity Salazar. I'm a patrol officer on the east side of Austin.
I've been with the department for about 5 years, so I've been in Charlie's sector that entire time. And I'm also the East Sub Patrol representative on board as well.
Michael Bullock, I've been with the department for 4 years as well. I'm the APA rep for the South Sub covering Franklin and David. And this is also my first time on the team.
Donald Baker, I'm a commander that's assigned to the Police Association, 34 years of experience. And I too am from the Valley, but I'm from the one in California.
Jeff Olson, I'm Lieutenant in Internal Affairs, and I'm the Lieutenant Board Rep. This is my 5th contract.
Detective Isa Kafina. I'm currently assigned to Special Investigations Unit. It's my first time working in the contract. The last go around I was assigned to the Executive Protection Unit, so I got to watch participate. I look forward to being able to participate this time.
All right. Maris, you and I might have to identify ourselves when we speak because people will get our deep voices confused. So, I do want to acknowledge our social justice activists that are back here. We have 2 today, Chris and Kathy, and I'm sure lots of folks are watching on stream. So Ron, what do we have some ideas, unless you guys have a thought about how you want to start today.
I think we're open to however you want to get going and whatever preliminary discussions, and then set whatever dates and timelines and whatever that. We're open.
Okay. So yeah, we were kind of, let's just, I know I had some email conversations with y'all about dates, but just if we can kind of set them so that folks that are watching also can know. So far we had scheduled and maybe posted, I don't know where that is, but maybe posted for next week. But what I heard from y'all was you wanted the next time we meet to be the 23rd. Is that still your kind of thought process right now? Okay. So we have posted 15, 16, and 17. We'll go ahead and cancel those as far as joint sessions. If y'all still want some of those dates to caucus, y'all obviously request your ABL as you normally do with APD, and I'll leave that to them. But for us, we will try to be back here next week as staff to try to see if we can work out some of these tech issues. But no joint negotiations until, let's see, we had also set, I believe, the 22nd, but we'll cancel that, and we'll do the 23rd, which I believe we have set for all day. Of the dates that we had previously set, there's a few that we have to leave here by 2:30 or 3 because they have a board and commission meeting coming, but I don't believe the 23rd is one of those, so we could go all day on the 23rd. And then we had set the 24th as well. Do you want to cancel that?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll cancel the 24th. And then I can email you some of the dates that we have these rooms booked in March, and to see if you guys are still okay with that. I know that South by you guys are not going to be able to negotiate, and probably, I think, according to Tank's email, probably a day before and a day after South by, so we will block that off. But I'll email you the dates we have set for March, and then y'all tell me when we come back maybe which of those dates work so that we can set it out.
We can probably do that, Devin, on break. We'll take and pencil out some dates in March.
Okay.
And that'll get us rolling.
Okay, perfect.
Just so everybody is aware of this, late March I have a pretrial conference in a case out of El Paso involving a police officer shooting out there where I'm representing the city, and 2 other local lawyers are representing the officer in that incident. That case will go to trial in early March for a couple of weeks, and so during those time periods I won't be here. They're still on a COVID slowdown, shutdown out there right now, and so it's possible it'll get postponed, but right now those are kind of my absence days, but the rest of the times I'll be here whenever Devin wants me at the table.
All right. Ron, before you get a chance to roll your eyes, I will tell you we do have some ground rules that we would like to pass out. We will email it to you all as well. I don't think we have enough copies.
But Devin, these are his favorite ground rules.
Oh, these are your favorite ground rules, Ron. So, again, look, the main purpose for us, at least, the main purpose of the ground rules is just, you know, for both sides to agree that essentially the way I look at them is yes, we'll have rules when the last time you can make a proposal or introduce an article or things like that. But the main thing from our perspective is let's negotiate at the table. We promise not to send email blast to your all APD saying your team is doing this, this, and this. Are you aware of that? And we ask that you all also negotiate here and not on the second floor of council. You know, let's try to get a deal here at the table, not in the press, not with your membership, not with my membership. Let's try to be fair to each other and do the best we can here at the table. And then that's essentially the way I look at it, even though it's a multi-page document. That's the general spirit of it, is that, you know, we're both going to try to do our best to be fair to each other and negotiate here and not other places.
Ron, I want to say something before I add.
No, go ahead.
I think Devin pretty much captured this. And for the people that are kind of new to this process, a long time ago when we were doing this, we passed these ground rules, we used to argue about them and so forth and so on. And we finally realized that this is all about the relationship, and relationships are not based on rules. So as Jack Sparrow said, these are more like guidelines. But I like them because I like to read through here and have everybody frame in their mind, what are our expectations, what are ours for y'all, what are yours for us, and then just have a conversation about how we're gonna go about this, and I think they're constructive for that purpose.
Just historical reference for Devin's going. I have nothing against ground rules per se. I don't believe you have to have them. I bargain with them without them. Without having even read them, I assume they'll be fine. We'll look at them. I think Devin and Wool have said, as long as the parties are committed to trying to resolve these issues in this format, then it'll go well. At the point at which that's no longer possible, well, then it doesn't matter whether you have your own rules or not. The process would be at an impasse. And in Texas, there's no, well, there will be in for Austin Fire, have a arbitration system set by the voters, but the police side, we do not. So there's no third party going to come in and settle this contract. So if we get a deal, it has to be made here. And if we reach impasse, then it's a political process, or it's just formalized political. It's political all the way. That's public sector bargaining. It's citizens are involved, and taxpayers involved, elected officials are involved. So we're committed to doing that. We've been able to do that here successfully since they started, and we don't see why that's not going to happen this time. So we'll read them, and the team says, okay, we're okay. And then I think Will's correct. It doesn't matter what's in there. It is just a framework. And for those not involved in the project, just basically says we're going to meet in times and places. And at some point, you got to put all your cards on the table, or at least your thoughts, so that we don't spend 6 months and then say, well, I'd like to talk about something no one's ever even mentioned. It's not that you're prohibited from doing it. You can do whatever you wish. And I just explained to the team, there are things of which neither party are going to discuss. We'll set those things aside. They can always be brought back. There are things of which, hopefully in the next meeting, we'll start identifying at least areas that we have interest in talking about. And we'll shape those. And just kind of speaking to a crowd of people that have not been here before, if we reach tentative agreement, which you say TAs, then those are things of which, for the moment, are done. And we set them aside. And they can be brought back, and sometimes they are if new issues arise, but assuming they're not, it lets us clear the table and focus on those issues of which we still haven't resolved or haven't gotten the language. So anyway, we're okay, so send them over and we'll look at them here and take a quick caucus and take a look at them.
Yeah, I think you brought up another good point, which is our side will be ready for the next meeting to talk about which articles, you framed it, which articles do you think we're gonna need time to discuss? We'll look at it from the other way. We'll tell you which articles we think are gonna take no change / very little change. And that way, we can kind of eliminate those. And hopefully we're on the same page on a lot of those, I mean, for example, non-discrimination or recognition that you are the association elected to bargain on your members' behalf, things like that. So we'll have a list of articles that we think will take very little, and if anything, just technical changes or no change. And if y'all could do the same thing, then we can have a starting point of, moving along. Okay, so
Nothing further on my end, so that's a good start. And we're bringing a copy of those back over. And why don't y'all visit and see if there's other issues that we're gonna reconvene on today. We're gonna do the same thing, right? That was not, there's something further to be exchanged today.
well, I think for sure we need to get some dates set.
Right, absolutely. I mean, other than the calendar, whether or not there's other substantive exchanges that we want to have during the time frame.
You want to pick a time to come back?
Sure.
It's 11.
It's 11 now.
Say 11:30?
11:30 is fine. We'll email you the dates that we have set and also these ground rules in the next 5 minutes here. Okay? Assuming we can get on the internet. We'll be sleeping.
Mel's 11:45.
11:45.
We,
Somebody gonna keep a record when I agree with her?
One, that's it.
don't get her started.
Yeah, but somebody can email us.
I've been warned.
We will. So what we'll do is we'll email the same group. I've been emailing Ron, Melanie, Joe, and you. And then go from there. And then, I should have asked this before, but how do we link in the laptop to if we ever wanted to show something on the screen?
We were trying to, Sylvia and I were trying to, we'll show you.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
We have Kirby Lane right here.
Yeah. Okay. And it's like $300, and I was like, we're gonna try to order that, bring it here next week, and see if it works, and if so, then we'll just use that as ours for the time.
I can make sure you've got mine if you want to try it out.
Yeah.
Go right now.
Okay. All right. Thank you guys. So Ron, I think you guys have some dates that you guys are willing to meet, kind of the dates that we had already set up.
Yes, what we would ask that this, as far as counting sessions for cutoffs and times, we're not count today, this is just getting lined up. And that we have our first formal session on February 23rd. That puts us, that gets us started, and then we'll meet on March 9th in our second session. Our third session will be March 23, and our fourth session would be March the 30th. And we would try to have a cutoff date that no new issues after March the 30th. Of course, we know there could be reasons otherwise. And then we'll try to have, by March the 23rd, pretty much a list, if we hadn't already done it in the other meetings, of areas in which we're going to probably make language proposals on, just to make it fit with the ground rules. And then, in regard to economics, I don't think we can set a time for the parties to do that. It's needed to be determined because, excuse me, there are things outside of our control with the city manager's budget process and council and workshops and public deals. So whenever the city is in a position in which they can make an economic offer, then we'll set that to discuss it. And that could vary from now into the summer. So I think that covers the dates and covers the ground rules.
No other issues are heartburn with any of the restructure that we have?
No, I mean, it's all pretty common, as you said. If we just discussed it, we would agree in principle on that. This was in writing, people can read it. Our goal is to get a deal at the table. I do like and have been successful in some places on some of these more where we need certain resources outside the team or with the team on certain issues. We've been able to use work groups. We've done it here quite successfully. There's no point in having city personnel come in and team members to go into some lengthy debate about some shift adjustments or schedules or things of which are, and then those things can be maybe hammered down and we can present them at the table. Different leave policies. I mean, so we like that, and if we can do that, then we hope that we'll be able to get some complex issues resolved without wasting everybody's time on the details.
All right, just a heads up, March 9th is one of those days that they have a commission meeting happening here, so I think we have to be out of here by 2:30 or 3. So.
Okay, well, you gave us 7, 8. You gave us 7, 8, 9. Did you want to back up a day? Or do you, let's see, let me check.
We can't do the 8th after all.
You can meet the 8 either?
We can do the 7th or the 9th until 3:30. Sorry, I didn't give you that time.
Oh, just want to stay on.
That'll be fine. I'm sorry, it's at 2:30, I guess it's 3:30.
Again,
I guess it's 3:30, we gotta get out of here.
Okay.
All right, and then I guess when we meet on the 23rd, we'll have a list of stuff that we think should be pretty innocuous and have the same, then we'll get started on some of the other issues.
We agree, I'm gonna work on, we've had a lot of team meetings and it's just an array of the various people's thoughts and ideas. We'll try to get that in a position for the team to look at and say, you know, it's point, identify what we have no, like I said, there are things which they're gonna be in every contract that don't require redoing. And some issues of where we know we're gonna have discussions and identify those and maybe be prepared to talk, if not give a proposal, at least talk about some of the things that came from our team. We have a very large team, but what we do have is a very young team and very representative. This is probably, you know, one of the better teams that I get, which really represents where Austin will be in the next 5 to 10 years. There's a few, you know, senior officers here, but the bulk of the team are all people that have 5, 10, 15 more years to go here, and so they want the department, you know, to work and function so that we get more new people coming in. I mean, there's no reason for Austin not to be the employer of first choice, not only in the area, but pretty much the state and in some ways, most of the Southwest. I mean, no one's leaving the Northeast to come here, that's just a geographic, but there are lots of people looking to be police officers, and we want Austin to be a place that they think that would be a great place to work. Now, I know we have our struggles. Policing as a whole has their struggles, and we're working through those things right now. So anyway, that would be our objective. So we have a lot of team members who are vested in this, getting this right, because this is where they're going to retire.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
All right.
We thank you.
Well, thank you.
Good day.
Look forward to seeing you guys and have a good rest of the weekend.
You bet.